Hey YouTube, I recently went online and I purchased a little something which I'm fairly proud of, and I am quite happy to have in my possession now. It took a couple days to get here, but after a couple days of waiting and waiting and waiting, I finally got my Nergasmic uh, item. Growing up, I was a huge fan of Legend of Zelda, and when I found out they were actually making really nice replicas, not the cheap ones you can get that have like just the triangle shaped Triforce on it. The actual full metal blades, and not the wooden ones either. It's an amazing sword. They have like reproductions that have wooden handles, plastic handles, and uh, very ill-mannered paint jobs. But this one is quite well. I got it from RivalSwords.com. You can get it from Rival Swords, Swords. Notice that between sword and swords on that website there is no second S. It's just swords. eBay, Amazon, RealSwordMasters.com, just all over the place. But my full master, Ocarina of Time Evolved Master Sword. It is based off of the Twilight Princess design, but was painted to have the appearance of the Ocarina of Time Master Sword. This is not a toy. If you swing this around and you don't understand how heavy this is, you will injure yourself. Many websites say it's like 3 to 5 pounds. They're probably just saying that just to downplay the weight. This thing is anywhere between 7 and 9 pounds. If you swing this around with one hand and you don't know how to sword fight, or you're just trying to look like some sex god to your girlfriend, and you try to swing this thing around and you don't know how heavy this is, you're liable to cut her head off, your head off, and probably kill the neighbor's cat. So be safe, be smart, don't fuck with this thing. It's pretty awesome. It is a hand-and-a-half sword. I wouldn't go as far as saying that this is a true two-handed sword due to the fact that my hands are slightly larger than most people's. I'm very tall. I have big hands. I have big feet. I have a big mouth. And I like to use my big mouth a lot. So I will insult you if you insult me. So keep that in mind. But I can barely get my second hand on this. It is about a hand-and-a-half sword. The blade is thick, which gives it more of a broadsword appearance, not necessarily truly long. I've seen some people going online and saying, oh, this is a true claymore or something like that. The Master Sword was never meant to be a claymore. Maybe if some of you people out there are thinking, oh, it's totally a claymore. No, this is not a claymore. This is a hand-and-a-half broadsword. Broad, meaning that the blade is wide and broad, not like a narrow sword like a rapier or a toad sticker or just one of those little fencing foils. This is a broadsword. The edge is dull. I believe it can be sharpened. I don't recommend doing so because if you sharpen it, you're giving yourself more adept to be in trouble with the law if they ever decide to be like, oh hey, you have a sword and it's sharp. You could kill somebody and you could be arrested for having an enormous weapon or brandishing it in public if you do not have your local law enforcement's permission or a permit to carry this thing. I don't know if the area you're in allows you to carry this thing without a permit. I know where I'm at. So long as it's not concealed, you can carry this on you. I don't recommend do it because you'll probably be teased. But then again, it's a sword. Who's going to tease you at the risk of getting their own face cut off? The detailing, the attention to detail was amazing. There are very few nicks or dings in the blade. The Triforce logo is inscribed into this little expansion of the blade with here. Originally, the color of this was silver with a red gem. They colored over it to make it look more like the Ocarina of Time Master Sword. Did not come with a sheath, but it came with a wall plaque with the loft wing and the Triforce sigil on it, and you can just hang this up on that. It is a wall-hanging sword. It is not meant for combat. It is half-tang, which means the blade will extend into half of this, half the handle, about where your hand will be, which means that you probably won't have a problem if you're swinging this around and the blade decides to come loose a little bit. If that happens, I'm no weapons expert, but I think maybe Gorilla Glue or some industrial, like super glue, would probably put it back in there, but it will not be able to be used again. It'll just have to be a wall decoration. $60, $50, $60 for depending on where you're getting it. Amazing, lots of fun. I love this thing. I've waited years and years and years to have one of these. Uh, Aside from that, buy at your own risk, and do not. I cannot. I can't just stress this enough. Do not use this or wield it if you do not know how to wield a sword, or if you do not know your own strength or the weight of this blade. Okay? I did plaster for most of my life, and the weight on this thing surprised me. Just be safe, don't risk yourself, because as awesome as the Master Sword is, it's kinda a lousy cause of death. Because the next time someone looks up your obituary in the paper, uh, death by replica sword, chop his own head off. No one wants to go out like that. Questions, comments, concerns, leave them in a little drop box below. I will do my best to upload a new video soon. I recently received a STL Ocarina, which is the reproduction of the Ocarina of Time. This makes my second one. First one broke, and I super glued it back together. It still works, just has a little, once it gets to the highest notes, it has that little raspy sound. But I will probably start posting Ocarina music covers on there, including Duel of the Fates and Hero Falls from Star Wars. But stay tuned, and we'll see what happens next. See you, YouTube.